Good morning, everyone. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Hi. Good morning. So I'm Rahini from the Coimbatore Villa team. Welcome you all to the 13th edition of Coimbatore Villa and this session, which is hosted by Sirithuli. Let me just give a short introduction about Villa, and then we will, go into the session. So, Coimbatore Villa was started 13 years ago with the idea of bringing people together and to celebrate Coimbatore as a city, with irrespective of our individual cultures and our familial cultures. This year, because of COVID, we are made this to be a completely virtual event, and uh, hence we are having these sessions on Zoom. And we thank Sirithuli for partnering with us this year. And we actually also had a tree planting drive, which happened on the New Year. So we started off with a great start. So let's now just I'll give a short introduction about the speaker, and then we can go into it. Mrs. Sangeeta Subhash is an apex member of Sirithuli and is a member of both Crafts Council of Tamil Nadu and Kovai Green League. She is deeply concerned about the issue of solid waste management in urban areas and has been regularly conducting awareness sessions on upcycling and waste management to students. She was an instructor at the Coimbatore Corporation's recent Guinness attempt and also runs a kids activity center. Presently, she started a company which stands as a promoter and distributor for all upcycled products. She is standing as a role model for clean and green homes, leading a chemical-free lifestyle and promotes the same. So we welcome you, Ms. Sangeeta. We are looking forward to have a wonderful session with you and inform the participants about chemical free living and how to lead a very holistic and a life that is very close to nature. Uh, so good morning. I'm very sorry about this goof up, but we are on the wrong Zoom link. I'll be sending you the correct link on the chat at the moment. Request you to log into that one.
Raini, the chat is disabled. Can you enable me to?
Swati, so Shakti is supposed to be able to enable it.
Shakti, can you please allow me to type?
Yeah, it's enabled for me too.
And it's not giving me access.
Just hold on. I don't have access either, Swati. Just give me a moment. Let me talk to Shakti.
Or just hold on. I'll ask the host to join here. That will be better.
Swati, can you hear me?
Only now.
Swati, can you hear me?
Yes, Shakti, I can hear you. Please enable the chat.
Chat is already enabled. I just gave a hello.
Your participants are not able to chat.
No, we saw the message, but still it says chat disabled. I'm
Yeah.
Shantini Balu.
Yeah. Shakti, so ideally the host is able to chat. The participants are unable to, participate in the chat. If you can enable it, that would be great. Um,
Enabled. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
The host is just joining. Just request you all to hold on for a minute.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry about the some technical issues before. Um, Mrs. Sangeeta, welcome to the talk. I had already given a short introduction about Villa to the participants here, but just to brief, Villa has been in Coimbatore for the last 12 years. This is the 13th edition, and because of the pandemic, we have gone online. This year, our concept was to, and the reason why we are holding Villa this year, despite the pandemic, was to make this as an opportunity to give back to the city. We had the grand launch at ESI Hospital where we felicitated COVID warriors and key personnel who were involved in making the city a safer place during the pandemic. And we had also taken about 75 COVID warriors identified from different public departments on a free helicopter ride and giving them an aerial view across the city yesterday and day before. I'm sure you would have seen all of this in the press. So, going along those lines, we are also doing a lot of other events in the city. Over 150 events are happening in and around Coimbatore as we are talking during these 10 days. A lot of marquee events which on the side, and then a lot of participating organizations are also holding events. So we are very proud and happy to partner with Sirithuli this year. We had started off the event with Sirithuli on Jan 1st. We started with a tree planting drive, planting drive at Citra premises on the 1st. On that note, today we are having a talk on chemical-free living. We have Mrs. Sangeeta Subhash with us to take us through how to lead a chemical-free life. Welcome, Mrs. Sangeeta. Um, I'll just give a short introduction to the participants here, and we would love to hear your views and your expert knowledge on this topic. So, Mrs. Sangeeta is an apex member of Sirithuli and is a member of both Crafts Council of Tamil Nadu and Kovai Green League. She is deeply concerned about the issue of solid waste management in urban areas and has been regularly conducting awareness sessions on upcycling and waste management to students. She was an instructor at the Coimbatore Corporation's recent Guinness attempt and also runs a kids activity center. Presently, she started a company which stands as a promoter and distributor for all upcycled products. She is standing as a role model for clean and green homes, leading a chemical-free lifestyle and promotes the same. Uh, Welcome, Mrs. Sangeeta. We are very curious and we are very happy to have you with us, and we would love to hear your views on the topic of the day. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. So happy to be here, and thanks, Rahini, for the intro. Today, as part of the Kovai Villa, to be here to talk about the chemical-free living, which is very close to my heart, and it's such a pleasure to be here. And I would like to start by saying a few things about why we need to actually go chemical-free. I think that is more important than even the understanding the concept of what we are using and how we are going chemical free. I think the most important thing would be to understand why is the reason to go chemical free in our lives, and how better can we make our lives with the chemical free lifestyle. So I think we'd start with a small presentation. I'd like to share a few slides with you all. Just hold on. Looks like the screen sharing option has been disabled. Is it possible to correct that?
Sure, we can do that. Shakti, could you please enable the option?
Shakti?
Still. Okay, so till that is done, I think we will start talking about. I think we have a line below the topic which says native wisdom for modern habitats. What does that actually mean? So, why should we go back to native wisdom to sustain our modern habitats? So that was the question which came to my mind when I was introduced to soap nuts by my friend about 7, 8 years ago. She was talking to me about soap nuts. I've never heard the word soap nuts till then. So then it was very interesting to know that there's something which can clean, which is as interesting as soap, and it has a lot of good qualities. It has produces foam and all that. So then I started using these soap nuts, which is basically from our forests. They come from our forests. They're just wild berries, which have a lot of cleaning properties and antibacterial properties also. So we started using them in our laundry, in our other activities, in our other cleaning activities slowly. And then we started using one by one. I think the intention is what matters. So once the intention was clear, then we start meeting more people. We start connecting with more people who think on the same lines of natural cleaning. And these are not new at all. So these are available things, and these have been used by our ancestors for various other purposes for longer periods of times. Over centuries, they've been using these. It's just that in the past 50 to 70 years, we've kind of lost a touch with it, or we failed to see the value that these things add to our lives. So slowly we started getting back to natural products. I think we are all familiar with these products, or we've heard about them. We've maybe even used them in our lives, but we really don't see how it can replace the chemical cleaners that we use in our everyday life, because we are so used to the brands and just go pick it out of the shelf. And so that's the lifestyle we've come to. So I think it's still possible to make your own cleaners, and it's not like it's going to be a hassle that I have to do it every day, make the cleaners all by myself. It's going to be very troublesome, it's hectic. There's nothing like that. These also have a good shelf life, and we can afford to keep them for a longer period of time. So that is something which I would like to tell you all. And there's another important thing here that I would like to show. This is the bioenzyme. So the bioenzyme is nothing but, it's also called a garbage enzyme, because we use the used and peels, the citrus peels that we usually throw away at home. So the lemon and orange and all that, all those peels that we usually throw away, that is the raw material for this bioenzyme, and it cleans like cleans to a sparkle, I would say. And the smell is also, I think we all know how oranges and lemons smell, and we are very happy with the citrus smells in our home. So these peels will definitely make the bioenzyme also smell great. And we can also if you can see, we've added some neem leaves also to it because of the antibacterial properties they have. So all put together, they become very good cleaners, right from the toilet to dishes to glass to cars. Literally every cleaning product can be replaced with these natural cleaners as a combination with even soap nuts. There's another ingredient which I would like to talk about today. It's the shikakai. I think we've all heard of the shikakai, and a lot of people have used it also for the hair. So this is shikakai. So it's different from the soap nut, and many people do confuse that. The shikakai is so different from the soap nut. This is mostly used for hair, and it has some very good oil removing properties. So that is what made us use them in our dishwash activities also. And then we have some, this is dried avarampu, and then lemongrass, there's rose petals, all these things which we have around us, which we also identify them, but we think it's of no use to us, or we don't see how we can use it in our everyday lives. So that is what we're trying to tell you as to how to connect these things which usually otherwise go for a waste into our lives, and to make natural cleaners and not just keeping the home clean, but also hygienic and good smelling, and a lot of positivity in the house, because our chemical cleaners tend to destroy all the microbes, including the good and bad. Like how people tell us not to take antibiotics because it destroys our entire gut bacteria, so microbes. So this is what happens to our home also. When we clean using chemical cleaners, saying it kills all the bacteria, so we lose out on a lot of the positive, good microbes that give us, positivity in the house. Like they say in the soil, people, why do people ask us to go play in the soil, or the children to go play in the soil? Because it contains a lot of good microbes. I'm sure people like Shantini, Balu will be able to agree to it, saying how happy it makes you to touch the soil and to do some gardening. So the positivity that it gives us is because of the good microbes, they say. The same is the case with our homes too. In our, like, little few years back or a few decades back, there was a lot of positivity. There was a lot of natural goodness in our homes. Like for example, the very practice of putting cow dung in front of our homes too was not just as a decorative element. It also had a lot of meaning to it. Every practice that our ancestors did had a lot of meaning to it. It had a lot of scientific value to it. So they used cow dung with turmeric because it had the cow dung had a lot of good microbes, and turmeric also had the properties of antibacterial and anti-infective. So that was the reason why they used this combination at the entry of the house. So we would, as we enter the house, it would be a real naturally clean thing, as you enter the house. But right now, what we do is we have made it a totally decorative thing, and we also add a lot of chemical yellow color, and we also read a lot about the effects of it. And as we walk on that, I'm sure our feet will also take in a little of those chemicals, and we know our skin is absorbing. It absorbs all the chemicals from it also. So this is not what we should be doing. So we've actually forgotten the true meaning of every practice, each thing that our ancestors did. I think it's time to revisit it and see how we can adapt it to our modern times in every little practice, everyday practices of ours. Has this been sorted? Screen sharing?
Yes, ma'am. You can try now. Is it working now, ma'am?
It's fine.
Miss Sangeeta, can you hear the? Yeah, I think it's.
Is that okay?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Yes. So the basic reason why we thought about going chemical free was, I think this picture says a lot about it. And I'm sure most people know where this happened. Can anybody tell me where this could have happened?
Bangalore?
Bangalore.
Exactly. So I think this is a very common sight, and it's something which affected all of us at some point in time, saying how can lakes be burning? How can water be burning? I think it's the effect of all the chemicals that was washed down into the lakes, and the study shows that there were not many industries. We always happily like to blame it on the industries, saying it's the industries that pollute, and we think we don't contribute. All of us have that feeling, saying I don't contribute to the pollution around me, or maybe my contribution is very minimal. But finally, when people woke up to the fact that this whole thing was caused by domestic sewage released into the lakes, then people woke up to it, saying in Bangalore today, it's a big movement where people have started switching to chemical free cleaners in a big way. And this is, I think, the Yamuna. So this is the amount of froth that we can see. And this is, if this is what we are doing to our holy rivers, whom we so worship and revere, then it's definitely not the right thing that we are doing. And we fail to see that how much of the shampoos, the detergents, the dishwash and the toilet cleaners, all of those cleaning products, all the foam that we produce, where does all that go? Does all our sewage, is it being treated? Is it being treated properly and then let into water bodies? I'm sure we would all agree that that's not even a distant dream yet in India. So we're still very far away from all of this. And not only this, what we see visually, this is the effect of it. So we see a lot of aquatic species dying, and the quality of the water being depleted so much that we cannot imagine stepping into a water body today. Forget about drinking water from the water bodies, which our ancestors did. We can't even imagine stepping inside the water bodies or even driving past. So it smells so bad. Why? Because the natural ecosystem has been totally damaged, not just by the industries, but mainly by our own acts also. And first thing is for us to understand that we are also causing pollution in a major way by our own activities at home. And we all think that and I think the current pandemic, we have all, I think, most people have sought a lot of chemicals in the form of sanitizers, in the form of disinfectants. I think the exposure to sanitizers, and then you consume food without washing your hands, it does more harm than good. It actually kills our immune system by destroying all the good and bad bacteria in our gut. So we'll have to be really careful about the way we use them for our safety. It shouldn't actually endanger our immune system in the process, is what we think. And not just that, the other reason for going chemical free is the fact that the indoor pollution is at least 2 to 5 times more than the outdoor pollution. And indoors is where we spend 90% of our time. And I think in the recent months, we've spent almost 100% of our time indoors. So that is where we need to really pay our attention. Starting from hormonal imbalances to our immune system to allergies, there is so much that this environment is impacting us with, and which we fail to see. We look for the causes elsewhere, and we don't see how our furniture is emitting harmful gases, how our cleaners are doing bad things for us, how our dishwash liquid could be harmful for us. There is so much that's happening around us which we try to overlook, or which is not brought to our attention. So these are few things that I would like to mention here. So the day-to-day cleaners have more than 50 harmful chemicals. Like the dishwash, I said, has triclosan. Triclosan, if you read about it, it says it's a chemical used. It's not. It's kind of banned to be sold as an across-counter product, in an across-counter product. It was used in operation theaters as a disinfectant, basically. But today it's been proudly announced saying it contains triclosan in India, and we are still happily buying it, saying it will kill all the bacteria. And I'm sure you will all agree that there is some residue sitting in our dishes, in our plates, which could go into our bodies and eventually kill our immune system. And not just that, it also, all these parabens and other the phthalates are all supposed to even affect our endocrine system. Today we see every other person having a thyroid disorder, every other person having an autoimmune disorder. And autoimmune disorders, they say, is mainly because of exposure to, overexposure to antibacterial or disinfectant products at a very young age. So these are things which, as we read more and more about, does raise an alarm, especially as parents who have young children. I think many would agree about the autoimmune disorders that children are going through these days, and not just that, low immunity levels, a lot of things which we are facing on a day-to-day basis, which there's no explanation to it. We don't understand why this is happening. They would just say it's the pollution, it's the modern lifestyle, or maybe the indoor environments, the dust mites and all that. But every little thing around us, we'll have to now start looking at it in a different light for us to be more healthy, is what I think. So when we look at all these, we also tend to get a little paranoid about, so what else can I use? These are the things that are available around me. So what can I do other than this? So then we thought about not looking forward, but to look backward. So we thought it's good to go back to the native stuff, because we all would definitely agree that our ancestors lived a much healthier and better quality of life than we or our children are living these days. So they could go to a stream, they could just get water and drink it from there. And as simple as that. Today, even the air that we breathe does need filtration, and we talk about air filters too, not just for water. So every natural element around us, we have polluted, and it's kind of beyond repair now. But at least let's try our own bit, and let's not just think that what can I do as an individual to make a big change. I think it just needs us to first believe in these things, and to believe that we can make a difference, at least to our own lives, at least to our own homes first, and then maybe start looking at what we can do on a larger scale. So, so that's what I told about soap nuts. Soap nut is the lovely wild berry, which smells good too, and it has a lot of, it has saponin in it, which is a natural soap material which produces foam, and it cleans. It's also got antibacterial properties naturally. So just using these soap nuts, I think it would be good for everybody to go buy some. It's available at most of the stores these days, or the Natu Marundu Kada. So just dip it in water and just wash it. It gives foam and it cleans very well. So we can use this in our laundry, in our dishwash, for our hair wash. I think before, people used to use it to wash their hair, to wash jewelry, to wash silk fabrics, the delicate ones and all that. So now we see how we can adapt it to our modern lifestyle to literally use it in every cleaning practice of ours. So then I was talking about the bioenzyme. So bioenzyme is it's the garbage enzyme, as I said, and it can be made with any kitchen waste, any organic waste that we produce in our home, and it just needs that with cane sugar and water. It's just a fermented product, and we know the goodness of any fermented product, and I think our ancestors already understood the goodness. So we have the curd, the dosa batter, a lot of things in our lifestyle is fermented. So we understand the importance of something that's fermented. And I would also like to ask, has anybody tried using dosa batter to clean? Has anybody tried that? The sour dosa batter, or even anything for that matter, even the fresh one? Has anybody tried? Then you should, because it's fermented is one thing, and it's such a good cleaning agent. Try washing your dishes. Maybe the leftover in the tub after we are used with the dosa batter. I think that cleans excellent. That itself would clean up one sink of dishes for me, is what I would say, and it cleans to a sparkle. It's just perfect. And there is also even the toilets, the bioenzyme. As you can see, there is a thick sediment below, and there's a clearer liquid above. So this is made by the orange peels, sugar, and water, which is the cane sugar. And it takes about 3 to 4 months for it to get to this consistency, where all the peels disintegrate and form a thick layer underneath, and the top part is a thinner liquid. So this liquid can be used for all our kitchen cleaning, floor mopping, and milder cleaning purposes. And this thick one is a very potent, very strong one, where it removes all the stains and stuff. So now we can use this for toilets, for greasy kitchens and all of that. So in this itself, we have different purposes that we can use it for. And the smell is also really nice. I think most of the solutions to our cleaning needs lies in our kitchen. And I would like to vouch for this particular thing, the kadalamavu or besan, gram flour. This is something which we think it's usually applied for the face. The first thing that I did when I started to look at chemical-free options was to clean my toilet with the kadalamavu. And everybody did have a good laugh asking me why I was using the kadalamavu for the toilet. But then as time went by, as a few months went by, people realized that the toilets were much cleaner, and it did last for a longer time. It remained clean for a longer time. And then we started adding a little orange peel powder into it, dried orange peel, which makes it smell good also. So then, I could make everyone believe that it is possible to clean naturally, and we don't need any of these very strong chemicals that we expose ourselves to. The fumes from them, which we don't see as to how much damage it does to us, not just to us and the water ecosystem also. So it is possible, and why I'm trying to share this with everybody is that we have been able to live like that. We have not bought any cleaners from the store in the past 4 years, 3 to 4 years now. So we are, if that is possible, that is the message I wanted to tell people, that it's definitely possible to stay away from the store-bought cleaners and to still live in a modern home which has your washing machine, which has your dishwasher, which has your shower cubicles and everything, and still live chemical-free. So that's the only thing that drives me to share all of these with people around. And then we also use powders for dishwash. This is a combination of ash, little gram flour, which is besan, and then there's a little shikakai powder and neem leaf powder. We use a lot of neem leaf powder because we find it around us. It's so easy to find, but we don't understand how good it is to use neem leaf. So you saw that we've used it in our bioenzyme also, and the remaining it's been dried, and we use this powder in our hand wash, in our bath powders, in our dishwash and everything. So it becomes naturally antibacterial for us. And so this is the fresh peels that we usually use for our bioenzymes. We also have a recipe which is 3 parts of fresh peels, which means 3 cups of fresh orange peels. And then there will be 1 part of sugar, which is the brown sugar, and 10 parts of water. So these, just put it together in a plastic container Because it's a fermentation process, it does release a lot of gases. And so once in every day, we will have to open it, give it a mix and close it back. That's the only thing that we'll have to be doing in this process, and just let it be for 2.5 months. And by the end of it, we start seeing the peels settle down, and it disintegrates because of the fermentation process. The good microbes, they consume the sugar as food and they disintegrate the peels and produce the enzyme. So for people who are thinking that because there's sugar, will it attract ants and all that, the sugar has been digested by the microbes, and the enzyme is what we are going to use for our cleaning purpose. So there's nothing to worry about with the sugar in it. And it's an excellent cleaning liquid which has the smell of your lemons and oranges that we use. So it also brings in the concept of a circular economy. Nothing goes for a waste, because generally people who are composting at home, I think you will know that citrus peels are generally avoided in the compost pit. So this is an excellent use for it. So there is, we can eventually come to a point where there is no such thing called waste, because that's how we lived about 50 years ago. I'm sure if there are some elders, you can also talk to some elders at home. They never had dustbins. Not just the city of Coimbatore, but I'm sure most places in India, they never had any public dustbins outside, which is something which we cannot imagine today. 50 years back, 60 years back, if we have lived without a dustbin in our community, in our city, why can't we think of something like that? Or maybe if that is totally not possible, at least the degradable waste, the waste that can be put to use in a better way, we can definitely think of using it more effectively to our benefit, not just the community's benefit, but to our own benefit also. So this is the method for the laundry liquid. Not just the laundry liquid, actually this liquid is multi-purpose, and it can be used in every cleaning purpose, literally, right from floor mopping to dishwash to all cleaning purposes. So I think I showed you the soap nuts. We'll have to remove the seeds from the soap nuts and soak them overnight. And then the next morning it is brought to a boil, and when it comes to a boil only, we can see how much of foam it produces, the soap nuts. And then we let it cool. It depends on the variety of soap nuts. Some can be really hard, some can be really soft. So I think on an average about 10 minutes of boiling would do. So we let it cool and then crush it with our hands, because it already, even when we crush it with our hands, we'll see a lot of foam coming from it. So, and then we filter them and mix it with like equal portions of bioenzyme. The bioenzyme actually has an endless shelf life. The only thing is, do not expose it to sunlight where the good microbes get killed. So it has an endless shelf life. So we can, when we mix it with the soap nuts, the fermentation process is also slowed down, and it gives at least 6 months of a shelf life to it. So I prepare my laundry liquid and cleaning liquids every 3 to 6 months. So it's much easier than making a trip to the departmental store every weekend, the Sunday evening, because we realize that we have to buy things for the Monday. I think that's much better than waiting in queue and billing, and that time we spend in making the cleaners. I think we are good to go for the next 3 to 6 months. So, and I think we use about 50 to 100 ml for a load of a washing machine, and the clothes come out neat. And my family's observed that even the sweat smell in our clothes, it doesn't, it's kind of not as much as it was when we were using the detergents at home. So it makes life much simpler, I would say, than saying it's complicated. Yes. Was there a question? Okay. So I think this is the laundry come multi-purpose liquid method that we have. And there's also a hand wash powder. So then we thought about why not a hand wash in the form of a powder? Why does it have to be a liquid always? Because a liquid form then has to be either a chemical ingredient, or there needs to be preservative.
They are. Oh.
when there's the need for a liquid form, then there's a need for a preservative or some chemical there. So we thought,
Ma'am, I'm having a question, ma'am.
yes, please.
Ma'am, what is the consistency of the products to be added for dishwash powder? What are the items to be added? At what consistency?
For the dishwash powder, it's just dried and powdered, all these ingredients which we have here. The gram flour. You are talking about the dishwash or the hand wash?
Ma'am, dishwash powder.
Okay, dishwash powder. I think it's a recipe which changes from one person to the other. Basically, it would be the major ingredient would be ash, which we source from hotels, and even dhobis have a lot of ash available these days. So it'll be the ash, wood ash, and we also add say 2/3 would be ash, and then the remaining would be neem leaf powder, shikakai powder, besan, and dried citrus peel powder too, to give it a good smell. So the rest can be like say 1/5 of all of the ingredients. There is no hard and fast rule. If there is going to be a lot of oily dishes that we are doing, then maybe a little extra shikakai powder. And a little more besan, I would say. So I generally would say in natural ingredients, there is no hard and fast rule as to this is the combination that we'll be using. But just to make it easier for people to understand, we give a particular number because we are so used to the that's what it is. And so this is another hand wash powder recipe which I have here. Gram flour, green gram again, because it's a good scrub. It makes our hands feel really soft. It removes the dead cells also. Citrus peel for the smell again, and it also has good properties, antibacterial. And neem leaf powder. So it's just a mix of these, and we put it in a small bottle like a salt and pepper shaker, and sprinkle some. Wet your hands. That's very important here, because once we wet our hands and then sprinkle the powder, it becomes easier to wash. So that's the simple thing with the hand wash powder, and it's very effective. I would like to share that we have not bought any bottle of sanitizer in our home till date, and there is no soap here. So we use the hand wash powder happily, and we are pretty sure it cleans very sensible enough. I think so. Eventually, what happens here is we feel happy that our home environment or our office environment is, naturally clean, and we are not harming anybody in the process or anything else in the process. And our family or our people around us are, we can rest assured that we are not harming them in the process of cleaning. So then cleaning becomes a happy chore, and I totally enjoy doing the cleaning and feeling that it's good for us as well as the environment. And there's one more point. The water that comes from all this cleaning goes into soap pits. It can actually be let out to the garden straight away, because the soap nut and bioenzyme are all very good fertilizers for plants. But we are recharging our groundwater with this waste water that comes out through soap pits. We just have some limestones lined and pebbles. And it's working good for about 2.5 years now. We have not had a problem, no smell, nothing, absolutely. Even the kitchen waste, all of it goes into kitchen water, the dishwash water, all of it goes into the soap pits. And we've never had an issue so far in managing this whole setup. That's what I have to share with you all. And now I think we are open to discussions. You can ask if you have a doubt on anything. Or how do you think it's possible, or how would you like to adapt it to your life, or what is the one change that you think you can make? Anything that you would like to share, I'd be happy to listen to. Or if you have used any of these products in your life, and if you have used soap nuts, if you have used shikakai, This arappu, which I also want to mention. Arappu is something which, it's very native to surrounding areas, because even people in Andhra don't know anything about this leaf called arappu. It's only very specific to our region here. So is there a point that anybody would like to share about?
Sangeeta, there is a question for you in the chat section asking if there is a restriction. Just see the chat section, the container for storing this bioenzyme.
Yes, definitely, yes. The bioenzymes cannot be prepared in glass containers, especially because it produces the gases. It's good to go with a closed plastic container, and every day it is essential that we open and close the container, give it a mix, because the gases that escape from these could really make it pop. I've heard people say that they went away for a week and they didn't open the container. When they came and opened it, the lid just popped open, or the liquid splashed and all of that. So it's good to at least do it every alternate day, especially the first month. It's very important that we open and close the dish container every day, so it's easier. Yeah, at least for that 1 month, it is essential that we do it every day. And after the 1 month, I think it kind of settles down. So every week or every 3-4 days, it's okay to open and close. Till about 2.5 months, where we are with it. We are the whole process of fermentation or the is totally done. Till then, I think it's good to do it. And then even afterwards in storage, when we are storing the bioenzymes, once a week, it is good to open it and give it a nice mix, because the fresh air going into it would definitely help. Yes, we have to use only fresh peels to make the bioenzyme. Actually, like I said, any waste can go into making the enzyme, but because we want it to be good smelling and we use it for our cleaning purposes, the citrus bioenzymes are really famous. I have tried with leftover mint and lemon, which smells great like a mojito. And there is even I've tried all other, there are friends who've tried with even spices, who've done rose petals. There is so much that we can try. And a lot of neem leaves, people have ground neem leaves and put it also into the orange peel. So because at this point in time, I think it helps with antibacterial properties naturally. Yes, and it can be definitely diluted for usage. Like I said, about for floor mopping, we'll be needing about 20 ml to 30 ml in half a bucket of water for floor mopping. And in case this by itself has a good smell, in case we want a better smell, we can add a few drops of an essential oil. So I have a set of essential oils, which every day, depending on what kind of purpose we want it for, so how much kg of peels is needed for 3 months use? It depends on what all activities we will be doing. If you ask me, the consumption of our house, the amount of oranges and lemons that we use in our house should sustain the house. Like as in when during the season, if we are able to collect the peels and make the enzymes, it would be good. But we also buy it from these juice shops, or even temples where there is a lot of lemon mala and all that happening, from restaurants where they use a lot of lemon peels. So we've been using all of them. So we can also source it from outside. So which is where we talk about the circular economy. What is somebody's waste can be our resource. Yeah. Is there any other question?
So for tough stains, and grease, like in kitchens and bathrooms, what is your suggestion, Sangeeta?
For tougher stains, I would suggest that we use, what I do is to clean my gas stove or my chimney and all that when I've really fried stuff and there's oil spilt over and all that. I sprinkle some bioenzyme mixed with basin, and just rub it across and then leave it for about 5 minutes. Because for in natural cleaners, the thing is we need to give it some time for it to break the dirt down. That's how the enzymes work. They disintegrate the dirt and break it down, and then they clean it up. So we need to give it some time. So we just sprinkle this whole thing and leave it for about 5 minutes, not let it dry though. Leave it for about 5 minutes and then give it a nice scrub. We also wanted to talk about some natural scrubbers here. So this is the scrubber from the Ridge God. It's called the Pirkanga Nar. And this is a coir scrub pads which are available in the market nowadays. We even get bottle brushes. All our cleaning brushes can also be plastic free. We can buy natural coir brushes from surrounding. And then just wash it away. So that's how we deal with the. So the powders, talking about clogging the pipelines, I would prefer to not make them really fine paste-like powders, because generally in the grinding, when we give it to the grinding machines, they really make it very fine paste. So we should make sure they are ground not really fine. And when we use bioenzymes in association with these, the bioenzymes, like I said, they disintegrate the dirt. So in the night, if we have this fear of clogging the lines, we can pour in about 20 to 30 ml of a bioenzyme into our drain lines. And that I've heard it even works with cockroaches not getting into our homes. And it also helps in disintegrating any residue that would settle down in the drain lines. So we've never had any issues like clogging so far. Yes, enzyme in washing machine. Yes, we mix, like I said in the recipe, we mix about equal portions of bioenzyme and soap nut solution. And so the shelf life is also good and the cleaning also happens very well. The only thing I would, there is no need for a powder actually, because powders sometimes do clog. And in case we are using soap nut powder, soap nut can be powdered and used. Then we will have to tie it up in a small cloth bag and put it into the washing machine, because the residue could clog the washing machine. So what we used to do was initially the powder form, we used to tie it in a small cloth bag and throw it into the washing machine, and then take the residue and dispose it off later on. Or people even just try whole soap nuts in a small cloth bag, about five of them, 10 of them in a cloth bag, and put it into the bag. That is also possible to do. Budget, I would say right now, because of all this pandemic thing, the cost of soap nuts has really skyrocketed. And I think people have also started buying them more, is what I'm looking at, because the prices have gone up. Before it used to be like 120 rupees to 150 rupees a kilo for soap nuts. And I'm sure like a small family, 1 kilo of soap nuts mixed with bioenzyme is good enough for a month. So 1 kg was all we needed to run it for a month. Dishwashers, yes, I've tried it in dishwashers too, the same liquid, but it needs to be really filtered fine using a cloth. The same liquid works in dishwashers, and I don't use a dishwasher, but I've had reviews from my friends and my cousins saying it works in the dishwasher too. Thank you. A little on these lines. Happen in a day. About that, it's not that I chemical free. It happens over a week. They want to bring the thought into the minds of people. Once you have the thought, then you start talking about it. Then you meet people. When we have a peer group, when we have people as a group doing it, it's much easier. That really makes an impact, and it's much easier to make the change. hope to see a lot more people moving towards natural cleaners and living in safer environments around us. And not just eventually lead to the water bodies also becoming clean for other aquatic species too.
To interrupt before we proceed, may we request all the participants to be on mute, please? Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, I think I've shared kind of what I wanted to share today with you all, and it was good to get some questions and reviews also on the session. And anything further, I do have a group on Facebook called Clean and Green Homes, where we discuss a lot of recipes and doubts, and we share a lot of tips on chemical-free living. I think it would be good to, like, in case you are interested, you can join the group, and like, it'll be, you can be updated about the chemical free lifestyle. Is there anything else that you would like to discuss? Otherwise, we could close. I would have loved to listen to somebody's telling about how they have used the natural cleaners in their life, or if you have an experience to share, it would be nice. That's what I thought.
So maybe I'll add on, ma'am. So, in our childhood, the process of preparing the shikakai was like laborious. The thought of soaking it overnight and grinding it, etc. Those are things that we're not able to like follow these days, and eventually we started adapting to shampoos, and now we also look at options of paraben-free options, etc. But how easy do you think these are to adapt? Of course, I saw enzyme preparation.
Yes.
But
I'm sure you are convinced. Actually, the bioenzyme and soap nut, the laundry liquid, can be used as a hair wash just on a normal day. If you don't have oil on your hair, I think that is a perfect hair wash. It does condition. Enzymes also condition. They also, bioenzymes are used as toners on skin, especially the rose petal ones are used by people as toners also. So it's like one thing which is used for all purposes. For my hair wash, I use arappa because shikakai kind of tends to make the hair dry. I use a lot of arappa with methi and hibiscus leaves ground in the mixie because that makes it foam up like a shampoo, and it's much easier to use. So I always have soaked fenugreek, pendem in the fridge, and just go pluck a few hibiscus leaves from the garden and just grind them with a little few spoons of arappa. And it's not a big deal considering the fact that your hair is much healthier, and it feels really great. So it's become a routine now. Even my children have really adapted to this process. It's like the minute we say hair wash, they just go bring some leaves from the garden, and we are ready to go in 5 minutes.
okay, thank you. That's great to hear. We'll definitely adapt to that. Thank you. In the social media, I think we have one person asking to share your social media ID so they could follow and take.
It's called Clean and Green Homes. I will see if I can share the.
Yes, if you could type it in the chat, it will be of help. Thank you.
this is Krishnasamy. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sure.
Okay, nice. Okay. Now, see, I have come across an NGO who's working in Satyamangalam.
Okay, sir.
He uses EM solutions for cleaning a public toilet where hundreds of people use it daily.
Okay.
The ultimate result, he says, there is no residue over there. Everything is digested and it gets out only clear water, actually.
Yes, that's something.
What is your suggestion for can we use EM solution available off the shelf for cleaning the toilets so that, or will some of your enzymes create the same results where you won't get any solid residues over there?
This is also a kind of an EM solution, I would say. EM is like, we would like to expand effective microbes. So maybe this doesn't contain as many families of enzymes as they have in the prepared EM solution, but this also contains a good amount of effective microbes in the enzyme itself. So it does definitely. I've also read a story about another city where people are making these bioenzymes in large quantities. And I've also heard that 1,000 liters per MLD or of bioenzyme to add it to water bodies. I hear that it kind of settles the residues and it really treats the water and makes it much better quality in water bodies also.
So by using your enzymes in the toilets, probably this problem of bringing in the sewage tanker and lifting the sewage, all those things will not be there. You get diluted.
We try on that because in our home, I really don't know about that part, but we use the cleaners for our toilets because ours is connected to the central drainage. So we haven't really tested on that, but it would be great to give it a try and see. I'm sure it will help break down the sewage.
Solid.
Make it better.
Thank you.
I have also shared, it's called Clean and Symbol Green Homes. It's a closed group on Facebook where we talk about the cleaning practices in homes. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done with the session.
Yes, Sangeeta, it was really good session. Thanks again.
Thank you, Sangeeta ma'am.
Thank you, Sangeeta. It was a wonderful session.
Tiny, you're on mute.
Yeah, can you hear now? Can you hear now?
Yes.
I can hear you. I just want to add one thing, Prasanna. Can I add something? I want to just add one.
Yes, please go ahead.
Actually, like what Sangeeta told, it's things which we are going to throw it out as waste. In that only we are going to do all these bioenzymes or EM solution like Krishnasamy asked, all these. So instead of throwing it to the garbage, we are making it to a good use. See, when she told jaggery, the jaggery is it becomes an appetizer for the microbes which are in the peels and other things. So that starts activating. In the process, all the dirt and grease all gets cleaned. So first it will be very difficult to start this and use it. But once you start liking it and see the results, you'll really go for it and you will never go for chemical-free, chemicals again. That's what I wanted to tell you. Thank you.
That's lovely.
Thank you, Shantini, for the insights. And thank you, Sangeeta, for a wonderful session. This was quite an eye-opener, and I'm sure we will, if not for 100% of it, I'm sure we will all start somewhere today. So thank you for this, and we look forward to having you again. Is there something else that you would like to add?
No, it's been a great opportunity to reach out to more people. And I only wish that, like you said, at least the thought, if not even an action, at least the thought would lead us to, thinking more about it, talking more about it. And then eventually it will build up into an act. And I'm sure that we are going to see much more of this in our, not just our city, in other places too. But let's start with Coimbatore being the change makers always. I'm sure we will take this up in a nice way and make not just the homes better, also our environment and our water bodies better eventually. So that's the ultimate aim of this whole session. And thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Sangeeta. So, just a message to everyone. This will be this event has been recorded. We will edit it slightly and we'll put it up on YouTube, so you can always pass on the link to everyone. It will be on the Coimbatore Villa channel on YouTube. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Look forward to seeing you again, perhaps for the next session with Sirithuli tomorrow.